Good evening, and welcome to the Air Force Association's Stellar Explorers VII competition. I'm Jim Hannam, AFA's Vice Chairman of the Board for Aerospace Education. Stellar Explorers, AFA's National High School Space Challenge, aims to encourage and excite young Americans into science, technology, engineering, and math, and space careers. AFA considers that promoting STEM education is a national imperative to retain America's competitiveness in the global and knowledge-based economy, as well as a national security and national defense need. Up to 80% of jobs in the future will require some level of STEM education, and the 30 fastest growing occupations require some STEM knowledge. 7 years ago, the U.S. Air Force asked AFA to consider starting a space counterpart, today called Stellar Explorers, to its Cyber Patriot National Youth Cyber Education Program. Just over 1 year ago, America formed a new and separate service, the U.S. Space Force, that is a strong supporter of Stellar Explorers. Volunteer AFA space and education experts, led by Stephen Gourley, designed and have managed the Stellar Explorers program from its beginnings. This year, we are honored to have Lockheed Martin become the presenting sponsor of the program and look to spread Stellar Explorers further across the country to more students and teams. Despite the COVID-19 pandemic and restrictions on in-person activities, Stellar Explorers had over 200 teams from across the country participating virtually this year, and 3 qualified in one semifinal round of competition that began last fall. The top 10 teams from these competitions would have competed in person at Space Center Houston this year, but due to COVID-19 constraints will compete virtually beginning tomorrow. Good luck to each of these 10 teams. We consider them all winners.
Good afternoon, Stellar Explorer teams. Hello also to your coaches, parents, and fans supporting you in the 2021 Stellar Explorers Competition Finals. My name is Sonia Phares. I'm the Vice President of Engineering and Technology at Lockheed Martin Space, and I also have the honor of serving on the advisory board of Stellar Explorers. Like many of you, this is my first time at this milestone event, and I'm so excited to be able to connect with you, even though it's not in person this time. But please know that Lockheed Martin is rooting for you. Our company knows well the role of teamwork, problem solving, and innovating to address the most complex challenges, pushing the boundaries of where we've been and what we thought possible by developing new technologies and the most cutting-edge solutions to accomplish our customers' missions. From the sea to the galaxy, we dream big and make it all possible. As an industry leader with an employee population that includes 54,000 engineers, scientists, and IT professionals, Lockheed Martin has for decades invested strategically in the programs that educate and inspire tomorrow's scientists, engineers, and mathematicians. Our future success and our nation's technological advantage depend on a constant supply of highly trained, highly capable talent, which is why we are proud to be the presenting sponsor of Stellar Explorers and this national high school competition. As I think about your journey throughout this year's competition, I know it was likely not what you imagined it would be. This last year, we've all experienced unexpected and unprecedented challenges affecting all aspects of our lives, from our work and education to our social and family connections. And I know it affected how you participated in this year's program. However, you have all persevered with commitment, professionalism, and excellence to arrive at this point. In joining this year's competition, you accepted a mission. And in staying the course, growing your skills, and contributing your best work, you have already accomplished that mission. And for that, you should be proud. And so, on behalf of Lockheed Martin, congratulations to all of you, and best of luck.
You made it to the Stellar Explorers National Finals. You are the best of this year's Stellar Explorers competition. Congratulations. I'm so excited to be a part of this amazing program. I myself am a huge Marvel fan and love outer space, as you can tell from my background. It's no surprise to me that the Space Force named their workforce members Guardians because they are the guardians of the galaxy. Game-changing advances in space technology cannot be accomplished without replenishing our talented workforce. And after participating in Stellar Explorers, we hope that's going to be you in the future. The Department of the Air Force STEM Outreach Program is very proud to be a sponsor and partner with the Air Force Association and industry on the Stellar Explorers National High School Competition. I encourage other industry partners to participate in the coming year in hopes that together we can make this an even larger national level program and continue to spark interest in space careers. What could be more fun? We view Stellar Explorers as an essential part of developing a space workforce talent pipeline. And as the director of the Air Force Office of Scientific Research, my organization provides funds to those universities for research into space scientific and technical areas. And we provide funds for students to receive scholarships. So the Stellar Explorers puts you into this pipeline and on a path where you could get your education paid free. Or be selected for internships and work inside one of our Air Force research labs, and be offered a job working for the greatest space force on this planet in the future. So please take some time to explore space and Air Force education and career opportunities. There are many career opportunities available in space operations and the design field. And this competition is meant to attract you towards that. And these important and exciting career fields. The Space Force is a great place to work. We conduct cutting-edge research and technology development and create capabilities in the future for the defense of our great country. Now, as Peter Quill would say, or Star-Lord, it's time for a dance-off, bro.
Hello, and congratulations on being a Stellar Explorer 7 finalist. What an accomplishment, especially during the difficult past year we've had. I'm Bill Gattle, president of L3 Harris Technology Space Systems. With 48,000 employees, L3 Harris is a global aerospace and defense technology innovator. We deliver solutions that meet our customers' mission-critical needs and provide advanced defense and commercial technologies across air, land, sea, space, and cyber domains. Some of our space programs include the James Webb Space Telescope and the Roman Space Telescope, XM Sirius Radio, the GPS constellation, GOES weather satellites, as well as many others. At L3 Harris, we are making the world a safer place for our families, the intelligence community, our environment, and our men and women in uniform. We're always looking for bright, young engineers to join our team, working in a fast-paced environment and a collaborative team setting. Who knows, maybe you'll come work for L3 Harris one day. The space industry is thriving and talent is always needed for a variety of engineering disciplines. That's why at L3 Harris, we think it's imperative to support real-world STEM initiatives such as Stellar Explorers. Once again, congratulations on making it to the finals. I'll leave you with a quote from the brilliant Stephen Hawking. Remember to look up at the stars and not down at your feet. Try to make sense of what you see and wonder about what makes the universe exist. Be curious. And however difficult life may seem, there's always something you can do and succeed at. Enjoy this week's event.
Good evening. I am Tim Brock. I am Director of Competition for the Stellar Explorers Program Office. On behalf of myself and the rest of the competition staff, we'd like to congratulate you for making the Stellar Explorer 7 National Finals. What we're going to do here is give you a quick preview of what lies ahead for you in the next 2 days. So with that, let's get started. As you can see from this map, our teams are spread clear across the country with 2 teams on the East Coast, 2 teams in the Central Time Zone, and 6 teams on the West Coast. This proved to be quite a challenge for us to try to schedule everyone so that no one was having to start early in the morning or having to work late into the evening. However, we think we found a good solution for everybody, so let's take a look at what's ahead for the next 2 days. Starting tomorrow, all our Friday activities will be done on the StellarXplorers Discord server. Hopefully all of you have had a chance to log into Discord and are familiar with its operation. I'll be back with you at 11 a.m. East Coast, 10 o'clock Central, 8 a.m. Pacific to give you the mission requirements briefing, where I will tell you everything you need to get done to satisfy the requirements for the mission. At the end of the briefing, we will post a mission requirements package on Discord in a zip file. This is very similar to the zip file you received in earlier rounds with the scenario booklet and the SDK VDF file contained. However, this file is not password protected. It is clear text, so it should be very easy for you to download the files. Then, assuming that I complete the briefing on time, we will start the 8-hour competition period at 11:30 East Coast time, 10:30 Central, and 8:30 Pacific. During this 8-hour period, you will need to complete all the tasks that are required, including building your mission debriefing file. You can take lunch anytime during the 8-hour period. Just coordinate with your team director when you're ready to eat lunch. Assuming I started on time, the 8-hour competition period will end at 7:30 on the East Coast, 6:30 Central, and 4:30 on the West Coast. Let's look ahead to Saturday. On Saturday, we'll be doing both the mission debriefings and the academic quizzes. You can see we've kind of spread the mission debriefings from East Coast to West Coast so that everyone has a fair chance to get their briefing, and we'll talk about specific team assignments in a moment. And then after the mission debriefing, we will have the academic quiz starting at 1:40 East, 12:40 Central, and 10:40 on the West Coast. Team dress for the competition is only required for the mission debriefing on Saturday morning. Now the team gets to define what their team dress is. It can be a uniform for Air Force Junior ROTC or CAP units, or it can be a coat and tie, or it can be our beautiful new StellarXplorer t-shirt. It's whatever the team decides is their team dress, and that is what they will wear for their mission debriefing. Let's talk about Saturday real quick when you'll do the quizzes and the briefings. For the briefings, we've tried to do it in an orderly fashion. What we're going to do is start with our East Coast teams at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. McMichael followed by North Quincy. You see you have a 20-minute window to come in and give your 13-minute window briefing. Please stick to your time. If we start falling behind, it'll run into problems later in the day. Next, we will go to our 2 Central time zone teams with Francis Tuttle at 9:40 and Edmund North at 10 o'clock. And then finally, we will do our West Coast teams, starting with Aurora at 8:20, Winter Park 1 at 8:40, Winter Park 2, 9 o'clock, Science Academy 9:20, Script Ranch at 9:40, and finally Palos Verdes at 10 o'clock. Again, please stay on time, because later that day we will do the quiz for everybody. Everybody takes the quiz at the same time. You can see starting at 1:40 East, 12:40 Central, and 10:40 Pacific, there is a 20-minute window when each member of your team must go in and do the 10-question quiz. Let's talk real quickly about tomorrow's scenario. What's going to happen during tomorrow? Well, you have 8 hours to complete the scenario. During that time, you have to build your mission debriefing. You have to select a mission orbit or orbits. Yes, we have been known to give finals where you have to do more than one orbit. You have to select equipment to put on the satellite. And you have to select a launch vehicle for the satellites. Well, once you do all these things, you may ask yourself, where are we going with all this? Well, where are we going? Let's see.
50 years ago, we pioneered a path to the moon. The trail we blazed cut through the fictions of science and showed us all what was possible.
It's very pretty out here.
Today, our calling to explore is even greater. To go farther, we must be able to sustain missions of greater distance and duration. We must use the resources we find at our destinations. We must overcome radiation, isolation, gravity, and extreme environments like never before. These are the challenges we face to push the bounds of humanity. We're going to the moon to stay by 2024, and this is how.
This all starts with the ability to get larger, heavier payloads off-planet and beyond Earth's gravity.
For this, we designed an entirely new rocket.
The Space Launch System. SLS will be the most powerful rocket ever developed.
And with components in production
And more in testing?
This system is capable of being the catalyst for deep space missions
we need a capsule
that can support humans from launch
through deep space and return safely back to Earth.
For this, we've built Orion.
This is NASA's next-generation human space capsule.
Using data from lunar orbiters that continue to reveal the moon's hazards and resources.
We're currently developing an entirely new approach to landing and operating on the moon.
Using our commercial partners to deliver science instruments and robotics to the surface, we are paving the way for human missions in 2024.
Our charge is to go quickly and to stay, to press our collective efforts forward with a fervor that will see us return to the moon in a manner that is wholly different than 50 years ago.
We want lunar landers that are reusable.
That can land anywhere on the lunar surface. The simplest way to do so is to give them a platform in orbit around the moon from which to transition.
An orbiting platform to host deep space experiments and be a waypoint for human capsules. We call this lunar outpost Gateway.
The beauty of the Gateway is that it can be moved between orbits.
It will balance between the Earth and Moon's gravity.
In a position that is ideal for launching even deeper space missions.
In 2009, we learned that the moon contains millions of tons of water ice.
This ice can be extracted and purified for water. It can be separated in oxygen for breathing or hydrogen for rocket fuel.
The moon is quite uniquely suited
to prepare us and propel us to Mars and beyond.
This is what we're building.
This is what we're training for.
This we can replicate throughout the solar system.
This is the next chapter of human space exploration.
Humans are the most fragile element of this entire endeavor, and yet we go for humanity. We go to the moon and on to Mars to seek knowledge and understanding and to share it with all. We go knowing our efforts will create opportunities that cannot be foreseen. We go because we are destined to explore and see it with our own eyes. We turn towards the moon now, not as a conclusion, but as preparation, as a checkpoint toward all that lies beyond. Our greatest adventures remain ahead of us. We are going.
We're going.
We are going.
We are going. We're going.
Where are we going tomorrow? Yes, we're going to the moon. So I hope this little taste of what's going to happen tomorrow has excited you and you'll be ready to go and anxious when we get going tomorrow morning. One last thing. Remember, the most important thing you can do tomorrow is have some fun.
Good evening, finalists, and welcome to the national finals of the Air Force Association's StellarXplorers program. I'm Orville Wright, your national president of your Air Force Association, and it is an honor to join you at the conclusion of the Stellar Explorers 7th season. Your presence here this weekend is a testament to your hard work and dedication over the past 6 months. Aerospace engineering is a highly challenging endeavor, and I know our Stellar Explorers leaders enjoy making the mission scenarios also as challenging as possible. And yet, having demonstrated great skill in analysis, problem solving, teamwork, and most important, leadership, you've made it. You are among the top 10 teams among the 211 that started this journey last year. Congratulations. As you also know, your Air Force Association promotes aerospace and STEM education through Stellar Explorers and other programs, with an eye always towards nurturing a technically superior and professional workforce. It's not that we don't like giving you something fun to do. We do, but we do it for a reason. A technical workforce is crucial, and it's crucial to our nation's ability to compete in the global technical and economic realm. That workforce is absolutely critical to our national security and is central to the ultimate mission of AFA, to promote dominant U.S. air and space forces as the foundation for a strong national defense. Without a doubt, aerospace and STEM education underpins our nation's recent and future success, and AFA is proud to bring you the Stellar Explorers program. Finalists, the United States needs your talents and skills like never before to maintain and enhance our way of life. It gives us great hope to know young people like you have the ability and drive to compete through 4 rounds of competition, and that you are out there, waiting to be turned loose on the challenges of today and, more importantly, tomorrow. Thank you so much for rising to the challenge. Well, now it is my distinct honor to introduce our keynote speaker, a tremendous leader and pioneer, America's first ever Chief of Space Operations, General J. Raymond. General Raymond is the senior uniformed officer in our new U.S. Space Force, responsible for organizing, training, and equipping the Space Forces of the United States of America. General Raymond was commissioned through Air Force ROTC at Clemson University and has commanded at every level over the course of an incredible career in the Air Force and as the very first member of the U.S. Space Force. Today, he leads the Lightspeed Charge to define this essential new military service and its unparalleled contributions to U.S. national security. And let me tell you, we at AFA could not be more dedicated to supporting General Raymond and all our Space Force guardians and their families. For 75 years since our founding, before the birth of the independent Air Force, your Air Force Association has advocated for air power. Today, it's our privilege to be a powerful and independent voice advocating for space power and an independent Space Force. So let me not delay a moment longer. Please welcome an outstanding leader and a friend who has supported Stellar Explorers every season of its existence. Join me in welcoming back General J. Raymond to the Stellar Explorers National Finals. General Raymond.
Greetings, Stellar Explorers, and congratulations on your truly impressive accomplishments. I'm honored to be with you today, but more than that, I'm inspired by your work, by your intelligence, and by your grit. All of us here today know a basic truth: space is really hard. Yet with dedication, ingenuity, and some help from parents, teachers, and dedicated mentors, you are putting your knowledge and innovative thinking on display for everyone to see. You are showing us all the power of your minds. All of you are leaders, and while it is inspiring today, your leadership will become even more important in the future. You are proving that excellence in science, technology, engineering, and math brings personal rewards and a sense of fulfillment. It also provides a substantial contribution to our nation. You are living proof that the intersection between STEM and hard work makes our lives better and our country even stronger. I'm not overstating it when I say the Space Force, the United States, and the world need you. As you might know, the Space Force is the newest branch of the United States military. Our service is responsible for ensuring our country's access to and freedom to maneuver in space, which are both vital national interests. Guardians protect and defend a domain that is important to each one of us in dozens of ways each and every day. Space underpins everything that we do as a nation, and it underpins everything we do as a military. It fuels our modern way of life, and it fuels our modern way of war. Satellites provide critical navigation services that enable aviation, maritime shipping, emergency services, and even ride-sharing and food delivery services that have become so popular during this challenging pandemic. Precision timing signals from GPS satellites power global financial networks, synchronizing stock market transactions, make paying at the gas pump and withdrawing money from an ATM even possible. That timing signal also optimizes critical infrastructure like power plants and electrical grids, traffic lights, and public transportation, as well as global information networks. Satellite communications connect people in every corner of the Earth, and they connect us to our most distant pioneers, like the Perseverance rover on Mars. Space-based missile warning serves as an unblinking eye, protecting the United States and its allies from attack. And global weather monitoring provides crucial data for weather forecasting and climate monitoring. We are citizens of a spacefaring nation, and for more than 60 years, access to space has been an American birthright, and free to all nations and responsible actors. Today, the domain is woven into the fabric of our daily lives as citizens and for the benefit of billions of people around the world. But today, access to freedom's highest frontier is no longer guaranteed. Our strategic competitors, most notably Russia and China, have had a front row seat to American superiority in space. They have witnessed the tremendous advantages in national security and economic prosperity derived by investing in and operating space capabilities across the defense, commercial, and civil space sectors. They have embarked on a concerted campaign seeking to deny the U.S., our allies, and our partners access to space. This strategy is pursued on two fronts. First, the Chinese and Russians have developed their own capabilities to generate the same advantages in space that we have enjoyed unilaterally for years. Most concerning, however, is both nations have developed a spectrum of counter space capabilities, everything from jammers to directed energy weapons that can blind or damage satellites to anti-satellite weapons designed to destroy satellites on orbit. The Space Force was established just 15 short months ago, elevating our national security mission in space in direct response to the threat that is growing in scope, scale, and complexity. As a service, we are laser focused on excellence in the space domain. Guardians have been called to compete, to take bold action, to push boundaries, and to innovate to stay ahead of our competitors. The Space Force is building strength in space that our military remains capable of deterring conflict in any domain: land, sea, air, space, and cyberspace. And we are moving fast, building a lean and agile 21st century service that serves as a change agent for the Department of Defense. We are leveraging digital solutions, embracing automation and machine learning, reducing bureaucracy, and empowering our most powerful asset, the Guardians that propel the service to new heights each and every day. Creating an enduring advantage in space is not just about satellites. It requires space-minded joint warfighters. We need Guardians who can innovate at speed, create the next novel idea, in order to realize our nation's expanding interest in space. At the center of this effort is expertise in STEM disciplines. The Space Force is STEM in action. Our service is young, but these are exciting times. It's formative years. We are building a force to solve today's challenges while also keeping an eye to the next 100 years. Our warfighting culture and STEM foundations will bridge that gap. The service's architects will share certain characteristics. They'll be bold. They will look at familiar challenges in new ways. They will go fast, and they will make a lasting contribution to our nation and to the world. There's no doubt that those four characteristics are exemplified by each of you listening today. I am certain that every one of you will serve your nation and your future profession, whether it's within national security, civil or commercial space, or another exciting career field. The finalists assembled today are the highest achievers in this competitive and prestigious competition. 211 teams started this journey, and only 10 remain. You come from across the country, from Massachusetts, North Carolina, Oregon, Oklahoma, and California, demonstrating that the nation's interest in space is both broad and deep. Space remains central to our identity as Americans. It unifies our nation. You give me great confidence that the United States will continue to be a leader among all spacefaring nations, that the final frontier will remain free for all responsible actors, and that's great news. Your impressive work is not just demonstrating important advances in the STEM disciplines, it also plants the seeds of innovation and persistence in all of those who watch what you do, who watch how you work together, and most importantly, who learn from how you think. The challenges you are solving as stellar explorers mirror the challenges Guardians and other space pathfinders face each and every day. Tasks include determining the proper orbit, satellite component selection, and launch vehicle planning. The work you've done so far will continue to pay dividends throughout your education and your future careers. I also want to thank the Air Force Association for sponsoring this competition. They know, as do I, just how important STEM is to the defense of our nation. The country needs this. The Space Force needs this. Brilliant thinkers and doers like you. Our nation needs examples like all of you here today. You have my deepest respect and admiration. Space has always been a domain for dreamers, for bold pathfinders who saw the opportunities beyond our atmosphere. I am excited to see how your dreams, your imagination, and your grit will change the world. Good luck to all the finalists, and thank you all for allowing me to be part of this important day. Semper Supra.
Thank you, General Raymond, for your inspiring words. You have been an ardent supporter of the Stellar Explorers Finals since Season 2, and have ensured Air Force Space Command and now U.S. Space Force had senior officers speak to our finalists. We thank you for that support and wish you and our Space Force all the best. AFA is dedicated to supporting Guardians everywhere and advocating for the Space Force to have the resources that it needs. Well, finalists. Getting close to that time, isn't it? Well, let me add my welcome to those who have spoken before me. I'm Stephen Gourley, Program Director of Stellar Explorers. I want to congratulate you on being the top 10 teams in this season's competition. And that competition has been pretty stiff. Less than 1 point separated number 10 from number 11. Just as impressive are your dedication, determination, and perseverance. 3 of you came from behind, if you will, during the semifinals, rising from outside the top 10 to securing your attendance this weekend. Very, very well done. Tomorrow, you start from scratch. None of your previous scores carry over. Everyone starts at 0. Have you heard? Mr. Brock plans yet another diabolical mission scenario for you to tackle. I have no doubt the talents and skills you've brought to bear so far to analyze the problem, determine a solution, and employ your teamwork will serve you well. It's not unusual for teams to exceed Mr. Brock's expectations and find a better solution than even he anticipated was possible. I look forward to that. Okay, let me close this opening ceremony by wishing you all good luck tomorrow. We in the program office are proud to have you here, albeit virtually. Your demonstrated abilities confirm for us the future will be bright, exciting, and awe-inspiring. Get a good night's sleep. You'll need it.